Good afternoon. It takes no joy in announcing the early morning arrest of a 16-year-old student from Miami-Dade County Public Schools who has been charged with cyber attacks against Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Obviously, it takes no joy because he is one of us. And according to the preliminary investigation conducted by Miami-Dade County Public Schools, assisted by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and they are here with us today, U.S. Secret Service and FBI, this individual is responsible at least for 8 of the attacks sustained by Miami-Dade County Public Schools against our data center, interfering with internet connectivity and access through our school system. A number of resources have been confiscated from this individual, and they are being forensically analyzed by our law enforcement agency as well as others. This does not rule out other protagonists, as federal and local law enforcement sources have informed us that in addition to these local attacks originating from the South Florida community, most specifically the one perpetrated by this 16-year-old student, there are other attacks from foreign nations, such as Russia, Ukraine, China, Iraq, and possibly others. That does not mean, however, that individuals in those nations are necessarily launching the cyber attacks. I have been told, and Chief Lopez will be speaking in a little bit, that through the dark web, there are means by which one can purchase these types of services which are highly disruptive. Shifting gears very quickly, today is Thursday, and I can tell you that we are reaching a level of stability with the educational platform across Miami-Dade as a result of 2 specific actions. Number 1, ongoing optimization of the platform for K-5, which is active and ongoing, mainly after we were able to identify issues that were cloaked initially by the attacks that we were sustaining. Very, very difficult to sustain an attack, protect against an attack, with the systems frozen, and simultaneously identify, analyze, and problem solve. A lot of work was done since yesterday through the night to optimize the K-5 system. And even though we did see some glitches, they were very individualized, but the system performed significantly better than the first 3 days of the week. The other reason is the fact that we announced yesterday that until September 11th, the 6 through 12 portion of the platform is suspended. During that time period, we will be working with a number of entities to analyze and optimize the product. And then after September 11th, we will make a decision regarding what we do moving forward. Whether we have confidence that that platform can be reinitiated without the systemic problems that we identified, or if we abandon it altogether and continue to utilize the district-approved Zoom through Microsoft Teams platform access. We hope that the experience tomorrow will be even better than today's experience. I can report to you that all of our systems in our data center, which we refer to as ITS, are working at full capacity, 100%, without interference. The last cyber attack that we sustained was at 3 o'clock in the morning today, 3 a.m. Since that time, no additional cyber attacks. We've had interactions with federal entities, and we received the support of Senator Marco Rubio who's asked for additional information. I'm also aware that other entities are looking into these cases to learn from them and provide the nation with additional information that may be gleaned from what we experienced here. With that said, at this point, let me turn it over to Chief of Police, Mr. Edwin Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Over the course of the last 4 days, our investigators here at the school board have been working tirelessly, not only by themselves, but with both our state and federal partners, like the superintendent mentioned, the FBI, the U.S. Secret Service, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. These detectives have a unique and special skill set. They are trained to not only identify, but also to locate and ultimately to arrest any individual who poses a threat to our school system, our community, or quite frankly, our country. Tracking down these individuals takes a lot of hours. In recent history, we dealt with cyber or other internet-based issues impacting our district gravely. Whether it was a hoax social media threat or what we're dealing with this week, a direct, intentional threat to not only dismantle but to destroy our infrastructure, our detectives have worked tirelessly. It's important for me to recognize them because behind the scenes and behind me, there they are. They will not stop till every person is brought to justice that intentionally tries to infiltrate and impact our district and the learning environment. A district of almost 400,000 students and 20,000 teachers. I am professionally affected by this because I deal with them on a daily basis and I see the good work that they do. And I'm also personally affected by this as a father, as my own kids rely on this same learning platform to receive their education. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chief. Scott Friedman. I'm an ASAC with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And I just want to reinforce what was said a little earlier. Our partnerships with the federal agencies and the local police departments and Miami-Dade School Police is outstanding. This is not the first time we've worked together. We work together in a task force environment. The federal agencies have provided both expertise, both technical knowledge, but also along with our investigative knowledge. We have been through this before. In similar cases, we dig deep, and as the chief said, you work tireless hours until you resolve exactly how it was done. And we're very proactive. We learn from what was done, and we apply it to the future, not just from long term, but immediately. We try to get that information, and we share it with other entities who may need to immediately protect themselves. So thank you for your time.
I want to reiterate something I said and then a few words in Spanish. One thing is clear. These attacks are sophisticated, they are relentless, and they have a deep impact. But the acquisition of the resources to launch them isn't that difficult. Money can buy access to entities in this country and beyond who are willing and able to basically dispense of these tools of interference, which have disrupted our school system immensely over the past 3 days. I want to also reiterate the fact that, unfortunately, shamefully, as we were launching a new platform that we knew would have glitches as is inherent to the deployment of any new big initiative. We were basically blinded to what some of those issues were because we were unable to see the problems as they were happening. What we kept getting, obviously, were messages of lost connectivity. And without actually receiving information from principals and teachers about specific important elements of the disruption, we could not get to work in terms of rapidly fixing them. Less than an ideal environment.